Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today what we have on our agenda is we're going to stick the motor in and see how it fits, see what I'm going to do for mounts and whatnot, and see how much room we have side to side, front to back, etc., etc. So basically we're going to get it set in there and then see what we have to work with. So anyhow, enjoy the video and we're going to plug away on this thing. Figured out so far is that with the tranny, bell housing, clutch, pressure plate, all that, the engine is just too long to fit in there between the core support and the firewall. I guess I could put a serious angle on it to get it in there, but we want to try and keep the motors level that way it doesn't want to shift around. So anyhow, we took all that off and repositioned the front chain to see if we can get this thing to cooperate a little bit. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and give this a go again. So, it's in there, kinda. Looks like the biggest hurdle is probably going to be the intake slash power brake booster clearance area. But and other than that, I'm gonna have to fab up some different engine mounts, which I thought might happen, but yeah, so other than that, at least it is in there. So it's sitting in there. Wasn't easy, I'll tell you what, but so anyhow, next thing I'm going to do is try and see what I need to do to get the engine to sit in there square, and do some measurements for some mock-up engine mounts just to kind of get it to sit in there where I want it to until we make a finished product. So anyhow, that's where we're at. Alright, so we got the hood on, and it closes and clears the motor. And there's the 2J sitting in the engine bay. Basically what we did is just set it on some, well, you probably can't see, but I put some bolts in there.
You go to the other side, you can see.
Oops.
Oh, don't drop the hood.
So there's all sitting in there. So basically what we did is just took some long bolts and ran them through the hole just to hold it in place. Part two, we did the I ended up just putting the whole old transfer case in there. Let me get in here and show you what's going on. So ended up just bolting the bell housing up to the G52 and put the cross member and everything in here just to get everything all lined up. It was a lot easier than trying to bolt everything onto the other transmission, but as you can see, it's all bolted in here and it fits like it's supposed to. So pretty happy day. So there it is, sitting in the engine bay just like it's supposed to. So
oh, yeah, that's good.
We already
so you hit a speed bump.
We already figured out engine mount design and everything else, and
just don't
all
turn
that.
Just don't drive NASCAR. Don't turn left. You'll be fine.
So pretty cool. All right, so now that we got at least a rough idea of where the engine's setting, my next obstacle is the radiator and the cooling system. Two schools of thought are, I obviously can't move the core support because I want the hood to latch. I'm not a huge fan of the hood pins and all that. I'd like to retain the stock look if I can. I just think it's a lot cleaner if I can. So the second school of thought is move this forward and put the radiator right here. But I'm a little leery about having that out in front here. We was thinking about maybe moving the winch forward, and that would give me enough room. The only dilemma I have is that I only have that's only like 16 inches, which is pretty narrow. Width-wise, I got enough room to where I could fit a normal size radiator here. So that's option one. Option two, which I'm really strongly considering. I know Nick doesn't agree, but what I would like to do is, this is the whole, if you saw my previous episodes, this is the whole front core support, radiator, fans, everything off of the Lexus. So I know one, that it is big enough radiator to cool it. Two, I know the fans will cool it because it was set up for the car. So what my thought was is that I mount it in the bed. And what I could do is cut along here, and and the same thing on this side, cut right along here, and then it'll fit between my fender well. I guess you could call those fender wells. That way I can mount them there. There's enough space down below the bed. Let's see if I can get the damn camera to. Jeez, I tell you, I'm uncoordinated. So there's enough room underneath of the bed, the stretch metal right there, that I could run the lower radiator hose underneath of that and right along the frame rail, and then all I'd have to do is just run one here and down. So that's another option. I'm probably, because of my budget, I'm going to try and make this work if I can, because buying steel tube is not that big a deal compared to buying a radiator. Radiators can vary in price and trying to figure out the right dimensions of one. And then I've also got, if I do opt to do a radiator in the front, I've also got to figure out what I've also got to figure out mounting and hoses and everything else. So I think as far as ease and as far as how much it's going to cost, I think this will probably make them more sense. We'll see though. We'll see. We're going to try a couple different things. So anyhow, that's the next step I was going to do, is try and figure that out, and that'll be the next thing. So actually I'm going to pause it for a minute and then I'll show you what else I figured out. So the other thing I figured out since the last time I talked to you guys is I had a problem with the cooling system and then the wiring. Now I figured out most of the wiring, but I just went the extra mile and I printed this up. I found it online. The Wilbo is the guy's name on the Wikipedia page, and he does a fantastic write-up on it. This is basically all the pins that are in the computer, and then below this, which was like 52 pages, so I didn't print them all up, I just looked them up on my computer or my phone. And basically it explains what each one of these pins does, where they go, if they're inputs, if they're outputs, and what they need and what they do. So what I did is I figured out the greens are all inputs, which generally speaking is going to be powers. Actually, I think most of them are powers, either ignition switch on or run and crank at the same time. And then most of the outputs are pretty straightforward. If I'm not mistaken, these three pins here already, they go to the engine. I'm not going to do anything to them. They're already happy. It was just these two here that there's some stuff that goes to like the transmission and whatnot that I really don't care. I'm not running an automatic transmission, and I don't really need it to to see anything. So just to kind of give you a heads up, that's what I got going on there. So hopefully I can purge the rest of that wiring harness real soon here, but I at least want to let you guys know about that. And here's your research for your wiring if you need to do wiring. Let's see, what else did I get done? Duh. Yeah, we were kind of busy this week. I had to collect a bunch of parts and kind of figure a bunch of stuff out, so Alright guys, well that's a wrap for today. Really happy with the progress we made on the truck. Everything went relatively smoothly considering the build and all that. So anyhow, I appreciate you watching my videos. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't. It really helps the channel out a lot. And make sure to hit that post notification bell because I don't want you to miss any of the videos I got coming up. It's going to be some really cool stuff we got going, so I don't want you to miss any of that. So anyhow, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.